truth, the lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies, and politics.
Welcome you back to The Truth, Lies, and Politics here on Spirit TV. My name is Paul Ekuroteki, and with me in studio is Council Samuel Wanda. We also have Judith Atim and Charles from Mushana as we look at the state of media rights and freedoms towards the 2026 general elections. What is on ground? The saying in our communities, Chichi Echiriko ground, what is happening? And so this affects you and I in many ways, you know, because the media is the one that is meant to disseminate the information and also inform us of many things that we may not be aware. And so if that media is repressed, the question is, what kind of information do we receive, and can we trust that information? Well, Charles was belaboring a point on state deception, I think. Was it self-deception? Sorry. Yes, yes.
The elites, or the pseudo elites of Uganda, I think deliberately are either in self-deception or are propagandists. Because you cannot say...
In what sense, Charles?
Because you cannot say...
Because she asked, why do we get back into multipartism
when we are not tolerant of dissenting viewpoints?
We have never
opened up to multipartism.
Is that why the phrasing of the question? Because a referendum ideally should have been a yes or no question, okay? So the framing of the question, yes, the referendum was not yes or no.
You see, you never had
a very ambiguous sentence, okay?
You were never, the movement didn't come through a referendum, so it couldn't go through a referendum. And so is the question of what you call pluralism, liberalism. It never came through, it was never taken away by a referendum. It couldn't be brought by a referendum. It was taken through violence.
That's the only language, so it can only also see through violence.
But yes, what you have...
That is scary. That's quite scary. Yes, what we have.
That's the first deception I'm talking about. The deception I'm talking about. What you have is to be Jeko. Those words are carefully chosen, selected. Some 7 says to be Jeko. Because you are having the likes of Chiza messages saying, let's reform the movement. They want to go, let them go.
Let them finish them, yes.
So the whole process of what you call referendum, what you call return to multipartism, was to have those who don't want to be in the NRM to go. You get? Now you have a new phrase, maximum political cohesion possible. You remember that one?
Yes.
But as a counter-insurgency tool, because he brought it when he was talking about pillars of counter-insurgency, a strong state, a strong army, strong intelligence, Pan-Africanism, and maximum political cohesion possible. Well, he says, I brought in Mao. We think those who've come in, fine, but those who don't come in, fine. It's up to them. In other words, it's up to you to come in. So if you stay outside, you are not in multipartism. You are a renegade, you are some...
So we're in a state of Chiambamwe.
So the media...
Yes. Judith, you can just park that question and you ask it at yes.
The media, she's harassing me. The media...
I don't do that, Charles.
The media, anti the arm, because I think I will think you are in distress. The media.
Yeah, in a way I am.
Okay.
The media. These are hard stuff.
In a way I am.
We are dealing with hard stuff. So media, one has bias. Two, it lacks neutrality, and it's indulged in propaganda and incitement. Now,
both the state and even the ones that media, are private, yes, in general.
As you see with the state, the media, UBC,
yes,
can host can host Mwanga Chivumbi. And it does.
Yes, it has.
But it can't host me.
It can't host Charles.
You know that.
They hosted you once. I remember I watched that one.
But they tremble, they get skin rash. But you see, it would be interesting if you ask these, they will tell you, but Rumshana, you are with them. There are some platforms where I am because of negotiations, because some elements negotiate, and then I operate under a lot of restrictions. So when you say even the state media,
yes,
I know there are other media where there is blanket, literally total ban.
Yeah.
They won't even mention your name. They can't even publish you are wrong, because publish you are wrong about you equals publicity. So now, therefore, if you are going to do, and I end with this, you are going to do operations. But I wanted to talk from the point of view of the security people,
yes,
those who beat you, so that you understand why you are beaten and why you are beaten lightly. So that you get surprised.
Charles, that's not beating lightly.
So that you get surprised why you have not been beaten thoroughly.
Okay.
You get. First and foremost, as a word of caution,
yes,
should you find soldiers in operations, patrols, patrols, when you find them walking in a line, depending on numbers, certain numbers, it's fighting patrols, don't dare take a video. They will shoot you. You get? If you find a soldier having carried out an operation, either it's execution or what, and you're going to take a video, if you must take a video, do it, you could use the word discreetly?
Discreetly.
It should not even be seen by a third party, because normally those operators have got third parties you don't see, they will snipe you, they will kill you. Why? As a standard operating procedure, written or unwritten, if you are going to carry out an operation, the first element you should eliminate is the media.
Because they will publicize it.
Absolutely. That's why you see the NRA at Nakba would not want that video where they were executing a civilian on knees go viral.
And why would they execute a civilian?
No, they did. You see, I'm telling you what happened.
Yeah, why?
Yes,
why
he was on his knees. I don't know which language he was talking, and the one was asking him with Mnyankore, no gamba chiwi, and he gave him a bullet. You get?
That's a violation of somebody's right, and the journalist has the right to do that. But tell that story. The question is, was it a journalist who took it?
No, yes, but you see, if they had gotten that fellow with that video, I can assure he would have died.
For telling the truth.
But you see,
for telling the truth, that the army is actually engaged in extrajudicial killings.
Who is in charge of the media for Center for Constitutional Governance somewhere? I'm not very sure that you proliferated that story.
Because I did see it.
I'm going to give it to you. I want to see you make it go viral. The media literally took a total... What they covered? They didn't cover it. It was a total freeze.
Because it happened. They circulated on X. All the videos actually were available
on X. But I want you to give me any media, electronic, or any other these conventional media of yours.
Daily Monitor wrote on it, I think.
No, they didn't.
So what is your thinking? What is your
you see, you get.
What do you think informed that decision by the media not to publish that story?
Yeah, because you.
It certainly wasn't out of fear.
No. And you see, because you are not real. You live a life of a lie. I've lived with the media. Let me tell you, I brought the picture of my supporter who had been literally mutilated. He was killed. It was a gruesome murder by a security officer during my campaign. I brought it off and gave it to Furogutu. He says, Rumshan, publish this against my friend Jim Wezi. I can't. You get? I have that experience with Ofogut is my friend. I can still repeat it before him. So when I see him now talk about human rights and what, I said, no, you are a liar. You get? I was summoned by Chiza Besigye in Ijumo Hotel and reprimanded for having opposed James Mwesigye for leading a crowd, a mob to beat Semogere. So, you get? And he asked me, you mean Ramshana, you have always been DP. Now, but Museveni, yes. for the crowd was saying, Semogere should not speak in Rukungiri. Museveni came at Terwara and said, no, let him have his rally. He can speak and use these words. Nasagamba negash. Let him address the grass, but let him be allowed to. In other words, you see some moderation in Museveni already, but in the extremism in what Besigye and Amanyamshega, because Amanyamshega was also there. He was around. He had come to. You know, I've seen those radicals. I've seen the radicalism in Winnie the Anima. When we're in those meetings discussing multipartyism, it is a referendum, you really saw radicalism for oppression on their part. But when they are here, and they are talking about human rights, defending freedom, so we live a life of a lie.
Right.
So whereas I do appreciate where Charles is coming from, because I know his perception of the media and how it does its work has been shaped by all these unfortunate experiences, okay? And I cannot blame you for these experiences that you've gone through. If you had this kind of damning evidence and shared it with WAF and he didn't publish, certainly that certainly shapes your perception of how the media works. And now I understand where you say, okay, the media is biased, they are liars, they are this and that based on your experience. But that does not speak for all the entire media fraternity. There are decent journalists out there who still believe in telling the truth, who still believe in fighting for justice, who still believe in defending and promoting human rights. And when you gave the example of, you know, the soldier who killed somebody and then he didn't go anywhere mainstream, there is fact-checking. That's something that you know. The media, you can, like, if you brought me a photo of a dead, even in court, okay, you would still need to do some verification, some proof. And now with emerging technologies like AI, okay, there are layers and layers of gatekeeping and verification that should be done. But of course, if there's hard evidence, okay, I am very, very sure there's no media worth its salt. There's no media worth its salt.
Because the president made a statement in Mbale
and not actually talk about it.
The president made a statement in Mbale. He said those guys who attacked Kasese with the pangas, they were kicking. The army made a statement on it. Police made a statement on it. It was a question of asking, but then just even asking, how about this video? And then at least they deny. You get if you want to cross-check.
Yeah, but that could have been a gap. I think I need to move to something. That was a gap.
It's not a gap
on the side of the journalist.
I have been in this job,
but we cannot water down the good work that the journalists, that the media has done for this country over the years, Charles.
I have been in this job
because of the bad experiences you've had.
No, don't limit it to that. I just gave you as an example, and don't use it against me. It's unfair. I have been in this job of triggering media, of giving media leaks, etc., of managing media. You get, you see, if I have used you to steal, and I find you stealing when I have not used it, I know somebody else has used you. And if it's my enemy, I beat you hard. You cannot use that. You cannot use my experience with you as a defense. So that's why you see in all these conversations here, when they are giving examples, they will give examples of Chagulanyi. At this rally, at this, they will not proliferate the other candidates. All that bias is there. Some part of the bias is unintended, and part of the bias is deliberate, because you struggle to shape narratives, and those you hurt should hurt you. That's how contradictions are resolved.
All right. I love the conversation. I love the conversation. Judith, I'll move to something different.
I thought you were going to Sam. I think I've been talking a lot.
Yes. Oh, Sam. Sam, when we look at, you know, the tools that we have, the different acts, I know that they looked at the loopholes. Then comes the issue of social media, which is one of the fastest way of, you know, of passing on information. Is there a way, how best would you advise? Because then somebody is thinking, should media houses then have legal teams ready while we get into the election period? Because of this different, you know, you know, acts and bills that are in place. We've seen this, and there are those teams that maybe, I know NMG has come out and their legal team has really fought for, but then these other, you know, smaller
platforms, yes.
As a legal advocate, you know, what advice would you speak into when it comes to that?
Thank you so much. Yes, I know the bigger media houses have their legal teams ready to handle in the event of any abuse that is orchestrated on their staff. But the smaller media houses, the independent journalists, and then I think on this very show I've said before that everyone in this country now is a journalist. Because all I need to do is record something that is happening
and put it out
and
there.
put onto social media, or even I can give people a live streaming of what is happening.
So that's what is happening with no camp. You can follow live.
Yeah, and I mean, it's credit to them that they have invested into sharing to the world what is happening. Imagine that they were not sharing live their activities. How many would be butchered? How many would be arrested, and without us knowing? So, to me, I think now at where we've reached, we need collective effort. The associations for the journalists, Uganda Law Society, and its arm, the Legal Aid Service arm, the Fourth Estate itself, to fight for itself, so that in an instance where we have any violation, then we should come together and fight that violation. I remember after the Kawempe brutality on the journalists, there seemed to be one voice.
Oneness, yes. We stand with
on that brutality. I wish we could continue with that oneness. We do not look at colleagues from other media houses as enemies, as competitors. Yes, in the business you're competitors because you all want the best, but when it comes to something that is threatening your career, because you see, what we are going through today is shaping what we shall see in the next 10 years.
Yes.
In 2021, I don't remember if in 2016 whether they switched off social media. I don't remember.
It was 2021, yes, when they switched off completely.
Yes. So, but I think in 2016 they stopped even live broadcast of results.
Yes, they did, and there was a partial shutdown.
And there was a partial shutdown. Yeah. So 2021 we have a complete shutdown. We do not know what we should.
Till today.
Yeah, we don't know what we should expect from the 13th, 14th of January. Whether we shall have another complete shutdown. I mean, we saw it in Tanzania. We don't expect anything different here. How do we collectively fight as a country against
some of these
abuses by the state, and how do we counter back? Because once we think Eki has been beaten and is not part of us, tomorrow it will be part of you. I normally give an example of our profession.
Yes.
The lawyers. We had seen so many other professional bodies being infiltrated by the state and creating camps within and taking away a situation where we have one leadership.
Yes.
As we speak today, we have those camps within the Ugandan society. So as we didn't take care of or think about what was happening the other side, now it's in our house. So to me, I think what the country has to do today is to fight together, oneness. We should not leave this to the media personalities alone.
Okay.
Because tomorrow, as they are being harassed for sharing the timely updates, as Charles said, they are looked at in that line of enemies. Tomorrow, us who are even retweeting or sharing what a media house has shared, we shall also be targeted. So the earlier we fight it, to me the better.
Quite interesting that you say there, if I get to Judith, say so that. How then should we deal with the citizen journalists? Should they be protected under the same rights as the mainstream journalists? Because now everyone is, like you say, everybody is a journalist. And does that law now cover everyone else? How, should we then treat them differently? Because these are not trained professionals. They've just shared what they have seen. A journalist at least should put certain things into perspective before you publish or put out something. But this is somebody who has, and I know, different TikTok, there's so many lots of information you get that it is raw information. How then would you treat that as the legal, entity? Or you'd want to have Judith speak into that before? Yes.
Just briefly.
Yeah.
Yes, the expectation is that there are minimum standards for anyone to adhere to, most especially when sharing information. But
on ground, somebody who is in the ghetto has captured something, and they throw all sorts of things on TikTok. By the way, if you get onto.
And to me, I think what we need to condemn if what they are sharing is untrue. Because if I'm sharing a video on TikTok of a neighbor who is brutalizing a young child, then yes, to another person who is seeing it, it looks brutal, it's very raw information, but it's helping law enforcement officers to get know that there's a problem here, then they can come in.
That brings perspective the issue of privacy. Even if you recorded somebody doing wrong, can't they take you to court and say you invaded my privacy?
You see,
because yes,
you have a right to privacy, but it's not absolute. Under our constitution, we have only about 4 or 5. Under Article 44, the right to a fair hearing, the right against cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment, right against torture, and the right, I forget the 4th one, but there are 4 under Article 44. So those ones, under any circumstances, those rights cannot be taken away. The other rights are limited under Article 43. However, the limitation should be justifiable in a free and democratic society. So yes, you have a right to privacy, but if you're committing a crime, then that right is limited to the extent of the commission of the crime.
Yeah. Thank you. Judith, you are banning.
Yes, so I wanted to just make a comment briefly on on internet freedom and how people are using the internet today.
Yeah.
Of course, the internet has democratized information, how we access information, how we consume, how we relate, okay, how we also participate in discourse. Having said that, like Sam says, there is a lot of irresponsible use, okay, of technology, of digital spaces, misinformation, disinformation, fake news. Now with Gen AI, you have shallow fakes, you have deep fakes, you have all these kinds of things coming on board.
How
the problem is, how do we, you're not going to avoid, I don't think the word is avoid.
Okay.
Ideally, the internet should be a civic space, okay? And a civic space means you have civic conversations and civic engagements. But because of the lack of education, the lack of knowledge, the lack of critical thinking that most users of these digital technologies have, you have a proliferation of all these sorts of unwanted bad content for society.
Yes.
So you are not going to, the only way to not even avoid is to educate, be proactive and educate users, educate your citizens on the responsible use of social media. They need to understand the kind of power this simple gadget has and how it can actually cause harm to other people. Okay, so and this is not a problem we are grappling with only in the global south. This is a problem that even the developed world is grappling with. Okay, and there has to also be that critical thinking that you need to inculcate in the minds of users. When people spread disinformation or fake news, what is the goal? The goal is just to polarize and fragment debate and polarize society so that it's us versus them, you know? And in that, you actually water down whatever important discourse that you should be having as a society. I think that's what I wanted to say about social media. But I also wanted to say something about what Charles, a comment Charles made earlier about when I talked about multi-party dispensation, and he said no, the movement came to power through violence, okay? And so they can only cede power through violence. So Charles simply confirms the long-held belief and understanding by Ugandans that this government is an architect of violence. And it uses violence to stay in power. It uses violence, it weaponizes the military, the security, to its own interests, okay? So then, if it is already clear that this government understands only one language, that is violence, then why are we lying to ourselves that we are in a civic process, that we are in an election where you even have the incumbent participating in a process he himself doesn't believe in? What kind of game are we playing?
Charles, you can be able to answer.
What game is this that we are all playing? Lying to ourselves that we actually believe in a process when he has told you they believe in violence.
And statements have also been made to that effect.
Yes.
How can a pen take me out
and actually, we've even seen serving, I think is the deputy CDF or KD, when he was making those clumsy statements. And you could see that they don't believe that even the process we are currently in, where the taxpayer is spending money, can actually be accepted if it's against their will.
So why do you participate in something you don't believe in?
Who?
The government.
So am I their spokesperson?
No.
But they say the government is for the people and by the people.
Yes. No, if I make the other comment, then you'll say I'm personalizing.
Because you see, you know the truth. I believe you do.
I don't, because I have always believed we are in a democratic space.
Now the bulb has been...
I've dealt with you people in what you call civil society, the NGOs.
You've dealt with us.
Yeah, I know you. It's just full of lies. Pretenders, it is. You know the truth, that it's not the rule by law.
Rule of law.
That's not there.
They don't believe in it.
Because the rule of law means the will, that the will of a certain group of people is in charge. Yeah, and depends on the sovereign, the maker of the law.
Yeah.
But this one is not, what rules is not the will of the sovereign, of the people, the ones who purport to make the law. But that law is used to rule. It's just
by
so
law.
in other words, the Constitution has been abrogated yet again.
I don't know those words of abrogation.
He will explain. He's
He
the
will
lawyer.
break it
Please,
down.
please. I don't want to go into that
The
narrative.
legality, the English, yes.
No,
but
no,
then, yes.
I know them. I know them. We
But-
operated in 1967 Constitution since 1996. Since 1986 to 95. It's us
So, yes.
in CA that repealed You get so we can, you can say we repeal. You also can say we abrogated. Because we found there a constitution that we have power.
I'm saying the ones you made, that is 30 years old, you've again abrogating it. You're going against the very same things, the very principles that you set out, that you claimed to have stood for 30 years ago.
We never set those principles.
Who set them for you?
We never set those. After you, I said, you know the truth.
You never set them for us.
Because we didn't have power.
It was in,
so
it was in favor of a certain power.
Yes, we didn't have power. It is the one who has power who will give you power in a document.
And you see that power back to him as you explain.
Yes, you see, because that power is transferred through a document. So if I have, because I can't appoint you RDC, I can't appoint you a judge now. Why? Because my document does not have power.
Weaponization of institutions.
What's the problem?
Yes. Sorry.
What's your problem?
Sorry.
Because I thought you would listen and appreciate some of these things.
I am.
So then listen and appreciate.
I am listening.
So if I'm a president, because I'm not a president of Uganda, I can't give you an instrument to make you a judge. Because I have no power, I'm transferring. So in the Constituent Assembly, we had no power that we transferred. We only designed the document in the belief, probably in the faith, that the one who had the power was going to transfer it. And he did not.
It did not happen.
He did not transfer it. So power has not been transferred.
Okay.
Because there's no will to do that, right?
Forget about the will. Yeah, I don't want to go into why he didn't do it. Whether he had lacked will, whether even really that's
but it wasn't. It wasn't.
It was, what is important is that power was not transferred
for whatever reason.
But I was involved in drafting. In the event the power is transferred, this is how it shall be regulated. And it was not transferred. So therefore there is nothing to regulate. You wait. When it is transferred, then you regulate it using this document. If it is still alive.
No, it's fine. He's talking. He's talking.
You're protected. Because we need to conclude this. Now? Yeah.
The power and the transferring.
Because she keeps on bringing in different elements. I'm not wanting even to understand.
I am understanding.
Yes, you're concluding your point, sir.
No, her point, not my point.
Okay.
The civil society, what you call a civil society. Because what is the opposite of civil society?
Is there an opposite?
Oh yes. Okay. You have academic staff, and you also have non-academic staff. so there is a reason why they chose that name in relation to the other one. You see, let me go to social media a bit, and I think we end there.
Yeah.
Social media, I'm doing a study, and I'm engaging in real life with some of these actors in social media, and I'm doing a study. If you said, brush your teeth, it's good for your
health.
Teeth, it won't go viral. And yet we have got a huge problem. By the way, teeth management could even be more expensive than these other
clinical issues.
Yes, But if you put their post, please manage your teeth, and it won't go viral. I don't even think that the teaching on primary health care during COVID could have gone viral even then. But put negative energy. So if you want to promote love, it won't go viral. If you want to promote hate, it goes viral. In other words, social media is operating on negative energy. Right? Negative energy or sex. So you have to color, it's a trending business now. Because if you notice, most businesses now, choice of colors, choice of what is
they always have a lady somewhere there.
No, it's literally related to sex. So now, social media is that the message, the information must be carried with must be sexy. Either sexy or negative energy. And the danger with the negative, because you see, it must be self-perpetuating. For this message to go,
it has to
be self-perpetuating. It's like a relay.
Gets worse.
So as I say, sharing, likes, those kind of tools, very dangerous tools. So for that to be, or advertisement. So for that, if you don't advertise and it's now to be self-perpetuating, because they also know, the owners also know how to suppress. The reach, that's why now you have many with boots.
Bots. The
boots or bots?
They're called bots.
Now those words. Because I had the Benjamin Netanyahu also complain. So there is a lot of manipulation there, but manipulation geared towards negative energy. And that negative energy can be extremely very destructive. Me, I don't mind it, because I've told you I'm in the industry, causing trouble. You can destroy yourselves because you learn from it anyway. So, what is the regulator trying to cure? When you say, let not everybody announce results. The one who is regulating it, I'm assuming is not a thief. I'm assuming he's honest. I'm assuming he's honest. What is he trying
to regulate?
To regulate. What is he trying to cure? Because the danger with the emotions, the negative energy around elections, it automatically results into death. Yes, it can even elevate to the level of a civil war. That's the danger.
It's possible.
So a responsible society needs to think twice about. But it's one it's a free medium. You can now then with these TikTok things, they are prone to manipulation.
That's true.
The technology now has come up. You can twist them. You can
AI and all of those things.
Yes. Right. So you have to. I don't know how to handle it. But as we said, my view is we need more scars. We need more mass graves for people to learn and be responsible. So I have no problem with it. Do as much as possible that can lead to your death. So that the future will take stock of this and learn.
Will it?
I've now reached me. That's why I am. I'm at the level of the survival of the future. Not ours. Because for us, we have refused.
Okay.
You tell somebody.
You have the last words for this.
You tell somebody.
Let him finish.
Not in our courage. How can? In our courage?
You're being sexist. You're being sexist.
From my rib?
No, you're being very sexist.
That's what I'm saying. The courage. Don't you see how she's rejecting it? It can even be war. That's why you see
Charles, you are concluding your point. You tell somebody.
She will have.
No, you finish what you say.
She will have last word.
No, you are still saying something very important.
You should have given way. You say where
mass graves and skulls.
Yeah.
You should have said where Mchiga is. Mchiga should have the last word. Let's not shy away. For our future to survive, they need examples of negative energy. What the negative energy can do. So we should pray hard. Negative energy consumes us. For them to learn and never repeat the mistakes. Because for us, we are deliberately repeating the mistakes of our ancestors. We've forgotten the experiences of Ruero and the mass graves. So we need to have more of those mass graves, and then our future will take stock.
So I just want to, I want to just very quickly agree with Charles when he talks about the hate industry being a very big industry. So the hate industry exists, okay? There are actually lots of publications that have been done on the hate industry. It is growing, and it's fueled, of course, by disinformation, fake news, and things like that. However, when Charles talks about mass graves and skulls, you know, this misinformation and disinformation thing, it's not only, it's even government actors. Government actors do that. Why did Facebook get shut down? It started by this coordinated inauthentic behavior, okay, of a government entity actually creating lots of accounts to basically divert, to shape public opinion to a certain way. So anyone can be a victim and anyone can be a perpetrator. It is not only citizens engaging in distortions of communication online. It would also be an interest. Now that you're studying this, social media behavior, it would also be interesting to study how states also use social media, how governments and powerful entities use social media to also manipulate perceptions, manipulate emotions, manipulate how people think.
Yes.
Okay? Because we are going through a whole social engineering process through social media. And that's a whole conversation of where is this taking us. So when we talk about mass graves and stuff like that, let's think about who ends up in that mass grave, because it could be someone very close to you, someone you work with, who ends up there.
They have already gone there.
So we don't want to talk about, we just need to rethink and reimagine a better future where people engage and interact on social media in a civic manner.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. And thank you very much for highlighting that. Just your word, since you deal directly with the journalist, and I think we have about 2 minutes for this. Your encouragement or a point of advice for journalists as we prepare to cover the 2026 general elections.
Okay. So one, when you set out to be a journalist, you are out there to do public good. Okay. It is a difficult job. It is demanding. It is risky. But it's certainly a job that has to be done. But also what we are taught in journalism school is no story is worth your life, okay? You rather miss the story today, stay alive, to tell another story tomorrow.
Okay.
It's important, of course, to be self-aware of a lot of things and the kinds of risks that you also find yourself in.
Yes.
And to the media owners, the ones who do not have, say, insurance for their journalists and so on, you might want to rethink, okay, whether or not to deploy your people and actually risk their lives.
Right.
But because again, the truth has to be told, but what is the price that you're willing to pay for that truth?
Wow. Thank you very much.
The media, please stay away from these silly elections.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Charles Promotioner. Thank you, Judith, the team. Thank you, Council. And I know you're available to help anyone or there are people who would be you'll be available to give legal advice. But I do thank you very much for speaking into this conversation, and I do believe there's so many people who are appreciative of what you have shared. And also to the viewers, thank you very much for for some of these messages that have come through. Unfortunately, because of time, we'll not be able to read out any of them. But our scripture of the day is coming from Proverbs chapter 10, verse 9. It says, "He who walks with integrity walks securely, but he who perverts his ways will become known." Let's pray. Lord, we thank you because we are in a season and a time where we are electing our leadership. Father, may you guide us, may you lead us, may you, we commit the leadership of this country into your hands. We pray, Lord, that there will be sense, there will be, understanding, that even the citizenry, Lord, will know what to do and you will guide them. And Father, thank you for the panelists who have had on the show. May you protect them, may you keep them safe. May you fill them with your Holy Spirit, even as they go about their days. As they travel home, keep them safe, and may you bless the works of their hands. We pray all this believing and trusting in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you very much for being a part of this conversation, and I'll see you again next time. Do stay tuned for more and better programming. Allow me just say Merry Christmas, because we're in the season, and may God bless you. Have a good evening, and God bless you.
The truth, the lies, and politics. Informative, educative, and analytical. Getting to the real issues that affect an ordinary individual in areas of leadership, governance, social, and economy. The truth, the lies, and politics